Why do you keep doing that to the chair?
Well, if this is 8 o'clock, it's going to be 8 o'clock. It's 10 seconds away. Hello, everybody, whoever's here. How you doing, Billy? Alrighty. Let's see. Tonight, we are going to talk about the possibility of good and the possibility of evil. Hi, Val. Um, as usual, if you have questions, you can go ahead and ask. But try to refrain asking or to write them down until it's time to ask. So, good versus evil. Um, or does good exist or evil exist? Does anything really exist? That's the question. When we sit and judge and create an atmosphere of illusion, then the possibility of good and the possibility of evil does exist. In the universe, good does not exist, evil does not exist. Evil is a construct of man, good is also a construct of man. Back when it was time to survive, um, we did some pretty evil shit to survive. Earth has gone through several bottlenecks, and when the population reaches a certain small number, survival is the instinct of the masses. So, some pretty horrible stuff would go on to survive. Do demons exist? Absolutely. Do poltergeists exist? Yeah, absolutely. Um, does different forms of life forms exist that mean to harm us? Yes, they do. Does good exist? Absolutely. Does divine exist? Absolutely. Does angels and the realm of angels exist? Don't know, but I would say absolutely, only because they would be considered different dimensional beings of light or light beings that look over us. Now, when a corporation ignores the science of health and promotes a drug, for example, let's go with the opioids to be specific, and people get addicted to the opioids, but yet they don't give a shit what's going to happen to these people. And these people end up dying from their addiction. Is that a form of evil? Absolutely. When a dictator takes over a country and creates a policy of Armageddon, hey, how you doing, Carol? When a dictator takes over a country and creates a policy of war and millions of people die, is that considered evil? Absolutely. See, we've all stood in front of a mirror and we've looked, ooh, look at me, I look fine. There's some kind of an emotion attached to that. And that feeling that we get from looking ourselves in the mirror is either positive or negative. For the most of the time, women is usually negative, unfortunately. For most of the time, guys don't give a rat's if they are who they are and they don't, okay, I'm looking fine, I'm great, I'm going now. But women, they're gonna sit there, fix this, fix that, this. Get it. I get it. We all have that rascal in us, and it's a good thing. But if you have no emotions, if you have no concept of what it is to be living in a hi Louis, to be living in a world full of other people, you actually have to sit in front of a mirror and mimic emotions, mimic different expressions of self in order to create that illusion that you have these emotions and feelings in you. And that's what I mean about the illusion. The capacity from the psychopaths and the sociopaths and even the narcissists to use what they have learned along their path in their life, basically, to not only control other people, but take advantage of other people is a very real thing. And exceptionally good psychopaths and sociopaths have it down to a science. They have it to a science where they will control you and you will not know. They will push their will upon you and you will not know. We did a video earlier this month, I believe, or last month, that showed certain ways to spot it and avoid it. But for the most part, most entities that are involved in the good versus evil battle today is man-made. It is man-made because someone is making a conscious decision to value money over life, and that is pure evil. Money should not be a way to manufacture a better world. To manufacture a better world, all we have to do is care for each other. To manufacture a better world, all we have to do is look out for each other and give back to what we earned as individuals. Does that mean you can't have rich people and poor people? Of course it doesn't. You can be rich as hell. But if you are not expecting or looking to take advantage of your customers or your clients or whatever the hell you want to call them, today they all see us as numbers. And that's all we really got to them is numbers. And there is no human connection or any type of memorable association with people that you interact with. And that leads to a false uh, reality if you are on the top. So if you're a top drug manufacturer, if you're a top food maker, if you're a top scientist, a professor, or somebody who should be giving back to the community in a true, I don't want nothing in return state of mind, is actually going out of their way to destroy it. Okay. And that's sad because that reality exists today because people just do not know how to feel. They do not know what it means to have a human interaction with other people. And all money does, what does it do? See, when I began this back in 2011, if I was looking to become rich off of it, or if I was looking for anything other than giving back, I would not be here um, being who I am. I would not be able to smile in peace or sleep in peace or whatever because I do not want anything from anybody else. I am just sharing what I can share. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm right, I'm right. If whatever happens, happens. Hey, Kitty, where you going? Come back here. And so the interaction between man is the meaning of our existence. It takes two, just two. One and one equals two. And if we're going to sit and look at money or profits over anything else, then we are really not one plus one equals two. We're one plus one equals my pocket, and my pocket matters, and you don't. Now, for the investors that are into these big corporations that are poisoning us, that are drugging us, that are harming us just by their analytical um, calculations or algorithms, those are the corporations that I just don't support. I mean, I go shop at Savers. I will all day, every single day. drink to savers. Period. Screw Macy's, screw all these big department stores. They don't care about me. They only care about the bottom line. And that bottom line is not what I am. I'm an individual that cares deeply about other people. Now, if we all took an opportunity to look in that mirror and see that we are individuals, then we will see that we have a feeling and an emotion that is attached to our being. And that is the level of, again, the wave, the sine wave, the state of mind that we're in. We're in a time of peace, and we're in a time of suffering, and we're in a time of humane expression, and that's okay. So, everything that we're meant to experience, we're experiencing for a reason. But if we allow ourselves to be conquered, we will. What do I mean by that? Well, I have a couple friends that refuse to give into the mainstream narrative of medicine, for example. The mainstream, so they will not vaccinate the children. They will not settle for regular types of like food. They go out of their way for again. And these people are not rich. They don't have a ton of money. But why do they go out of their way to give their children food that is not full of poison? Because they give a fuck. But most people don't give a fuck or they just don't know. Okay. And when they do know, they choose to look the other way and completely avoid it. And that's sad. Okay. I am guilty. I am not, I'll eat McDonald's as much as the next guy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hide the fact, but I am also guilty. But at the same time, the awareness is my choice, right? So if I'm making a choice for myself, that's on me. I am not hurting anybody else but myself, right? People are gonna say, well, you have children, they're gonna see how you're acting, and they're gonna blah 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 blah. Yes, but they're also well spoken to and they have the capacity to make their own decisions and choices. And that's the difference. The choices that we make is what creates the illusion of good and evil. Now, I forgot the name of the experiment, but there was an experiment done, I think in the 70s or 80s, where they had a guy in a lab coat. He looked like a doctor. They had another guy that was supposed to be the person receiving the treatment. And they had the volunteers going in front of a box that would have voltage going, I don't know, from 100 to 1,000 watts or whatever the hell it was. And the person of authority would say, okay, they would ask the person behind the screen or whatever a question. And if they got the question wrong, the volunteer would zap them. So they would zap him and zap him and zap him. And after a while, as they turned up the knob of the wattage, um, the other person behind the screen went quiet. Now, the majority of people kept pressing that button to higher and higher wattage until the experiment, the person in authority said, okay, that's enough. Um, thank you for coming and doing an experiment and have a great day. Now, the numbers, I'm not sure what they are, but they were significantly high, well over 60% of the people that pressed the button to the point where this person was no longer talking or reacting to the shock treatment or whatever the experiment. I don't exactly remember the experiment, but to have a willing person that is otherwise good go in and shock somebody until they're no longer audible is pretty alarming. But that's the authority we give to others. That's the authority we ourselves give to somebody in the lab coat that says, okay, they got that answer wrong, you got to shock them. They got that answer wrong, you got to shock them. And each time you would shock these people, the voltage will go higher and higher and higher. And Does that make you good or evil? So, does that make you willingly stupid? Does that make you willingly ignorant? Okay. So, if you are giving your power away to the evil, I was most doing what I was told. Absolutely. That was their response. They were just doing what they were told. Is that being ignorant or willingly stupid? If you're going to shock somebody to the point where they do not have consciousness anymore, that's on you. The comic wheel spins on you, even though you were told by someone of authority to press the button. Okay. So if your excuse was, I was just doing what I was told, it's willful ignorance. And this willful ignorance is what causes us to submit to evil. Okay. And not evil that is present, it's exponentially growing. And this is tilting the the realm uh, in the tides of justice to one side or the other. This is what's up, guys. This is what choice allows us to do. Choice allows us. I was just doing what I was told. Choice allows us to harm somebody without really thinking about it. Choice allows us to do some pretty crazy stuff, even though we are good, quote unquote, people, to harm somebody else because we see a person of authority instructing us in an experiment. Now, if that study was never done, or if that experiment was never done, how will we know this truly exists? Well, the Nazis were just following their orders. They were cooking up millions of people in ovens, but they were just following their orders. If they did not follow their orders, yo, what's up, boss? So if they were not following their orders, right, then what would they get court-martialed? Would they get shot? I don't know. I don't know what would happen in the Nazi military, but I was just doing what I was told is not an excuse to justify one's actions towards evil. Okay. So evil exists because we create it. Evil exists because we go along with it. Evil exists because, in the name of religion, I should kill and rape. Hmm. Wasn't religion created to have a good, steady mindset of peace? Last time I checked, every religion talks of peace and love. Let's see. But throughout the centuries, millions, I mean, I'm talking a lot of people have freaking suffered on the hands and swords of people that were supposed to be religious. What the fuck is that? I was just doing what I was told, man. I was just doing what I was told. I am going to justify evil because I was told that I am going to go to heaven. Hmm. Right. And that's the way to be. That's the way to be a good human being, right? So if we go along with this illusion, if we go along with this tomfoolery of few greedy sociopaths, basically, and psychopaths that control the narrative of our planet, what's the ultimate, to what end? To what's the ultimate end? Will it be around in 100 years to see what the future brings? Or will we all slide? Do I talk much? No. Or will we all suffer a painful, quick, or slow death? According to them, they keep feeding us these poisons. We keep drinking water that's poison. We keep breathing air that's poisoned. Go to them, we're going to be just fine. Right? So the choice is for you to awaken yourself in that illusion of choice. I was just doing what I was told. That does not cut it. That does not cut it. That only creates the perpetual end for all of us, right? Because as long as the scales of justice are not equal, there's always going to be one trying to take advantage of the other. And if it was good trying to take advantage over evil, then what? What's the outcome of that? What's up, Dylan? So the way you approach and the way you see yourself is the ultimate tool and the ultimate expression of what you consider good or evil, right? And evil exists only on a realm, okay? Evil exists only on a dimensional scale that is fluid, right? So the fluid motion of every action, every uh, entanglement of atoms is that motion, is that fluid reality that we call consciousness. Okay. I see I have some heavy hitters here today. So if you all have questions, you go ahead and free to ask, please. And to my heavy hitters that do have deep thinking minds, um, look in the mirror. What is your expression? What are you going to see? Are you going to be happy with what you see? Does consciousness require a physical body? No, sir. Consciousness does not require a physical body. Consciousness is the physicality of mind. Mind is all is mind. So wherever the physical mind is present and is able to make an aware choice, uh, then that consciousness exists. Now, if it does not make a choice, it's an instinctual thing. And that instinctual thing then is followed by a chemical thing. Okay. So it does not require a physical body. What the hell is going on here? Hold on a second. Does our consciousness stay with us? Come on now. That is old school. Consciousness does not stay with us. Consciousness is what exists. Consciousness is what creates all of this. Consciousness, being the first and foremost sense, is your ability to express light. Light reflecting off my glasses, reflecting on my skin, reflecting off the wall, reflecting everywhere we see is the actual incarnation of consciousness. Okay. And that goes with the seven kingdoms of magnetism. And that goes with the seven kingdoms of many different things. But consciousness itself does not have good or evil. Consciousness itself does not have that positive or negative PNA. The hell did I just say? I don't know. But consciousness or negative consciousness does not have that positive or negative or good or bad or smell or whatever the senses are. Consciousness itself is a whole entity all on its own. Okay. So what stays with you is your emotions. You were born pre-programmed with emotions. And if you have no emotions, psychopath, sociopath, that's your destiny. And that will bring you towards the bad or evil side because you do not have that innate empathy towards others. Okay. So that consciousness in our physical body is, does not determine what we already have the program for, and that's the matrix. And that has the waveform, it has the positive and the negative. Sorry, here we are. The positive and the negative. So in that waveform is where we stand at any given second in our reality. All right. So the ability um, to to notice and observe that you are not doing what you were being told is a very powerful um, self-preserving observation. All right. Because if the excuse is I was just doing what I was told, it's pretty ignorant. And that ignorant is part of the consciousness that you were born with. Because the wheel, as I call the comic wheel, does not differentiate. Good is good, bad is bad. No, there's no such thing. What is real is the actions that you take to bring on the feeling, and that feeling now creates the emotion that is carried on with you in the next life, in the next passing, or the next reality, whatever it is. Okay, so the ignorance, I was doing what I was told, is the universal aspect of passing the buck. I'm going to pass the buck because if he did it, I could do it. If they did it, I could do it. If what can they do it and I can't? What the hell is that? That's not the ability to reason truly within self. And we're all guilty of it. We've all done it. And it's a human trait. It's a human nature, seven deadly sin type of crap. Okay. And ability. That's above my head, bro. That's beyond my pay grade. Oh yeah, I didn't say thank you to my sponsor Kalia for making my frappadaki, my Nescafe. I I started drinking it early. A bill it e. Why? What the hell does that mean, Mister Ivy? I mean, Mister Alex. Way above my freaking pay grade. Um, ability, yes, I know that, bro. But why ability? Right? What is the ability? What ability to see? Ability of awareness? Ability of Bill? What? Bill is a very able dude. However, can he see? And that's the thing. Uh, I was just doing what I was told is passing the buck. I was doing what I was told is just yes. It's all about laughter, Alex, and you know that laughter is the best heal, and that laughter is shared amongst like-minded people. Who is this guy? This guy's a wise guy. Yeah, he's a wise guy for sure. Yeah. Anyways, um, no, I did not sit in front of a mirror and pretend to be laughing. That's what they have to do to create uh, create that ability to smile because they don't have it. They don't have that emotional connection. They don't have that ability to tap in what is. And that's the lower side of the wave. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far in good versus evil, or does evil and good exist? Again, we did say that there is things on this realm, on this planet, that are not visible yet dangerous, right? And vibrationally, they are and can be beaten, and vibrationally, they do not really. Duality exists on every single level, Alex. Yes, duality exists in within the seven principles. So each principle has its day, and each principle has its night. Each principle has its spectrum. Each principle has its vibration. So within the seven principles of the Kabbalion, each one is intertwined to create that complete 360 universal sphere, right? So duality exists on every level. It just depends on the spectrum. Is it severe or is it mild? Okay. Does that answer your question, sir? And I'm glad I don't have a time delay on this thing because it's like it's painful getting questions out. Does consciousness decide to be good or evil? Is it felt through vibration from unconscious, conscious choices, or something else? I answered this question, Dylan. Consciousness does not have good or evil built in. All right. Consciousness itself only has emotion that is the individual bubble or the individual matrix that has brought forth from emotions before. In many different lives, it was felt. Can you please shut that off? It was felt beyond vibration, right? Conscious or unconscious. And that something else is each realm, each carnation of light, right? Consciousness does not have good or evil built in. It has everything and anything that ever was, period. From alpha to omega. So good and evil exists only in the observation of the beholder, me, right? And if we say the universe has good or evil in it, it would be stupid because stars blow up all the time. Entire solar systems go boof, gone. So is that an evil act? It's just the way it works. Chemicals happen to explode all the time. We get sick. Is that an evil act? No. Okay. So it's not felt just through one of the seven uh, laws of the universe. It's not just through vibration. Okay. It's not just through mind. It's not just through gender. It's not just through any other seven. It's all seven working in unison like a beautiful orchestra playing a song that we can all enjoy and hear. All right. So good or evil only exists in the observer. Okay. And because we're observers on this realm, we can clearly see that we are letting the sick die and we are letting the poor get sick. And this is when a society decides that the dollar is more valuable than someone's life, then that's fucked up. That to me is evil. Okay. So when the dollar takes more control over society than caring for one another just by giving each other a hug, saying, I love you, man, there's a problem. All right. And these companies that don't give a rat's ass that run the actual world should be checked by us. Uh, we don't have to subscribe to their ideologies in order to have a good life. Um, I do need internet, okay? So who am I going to use? Let's see. If I had the ways and means and I can afford an Elon Musk, I would use that guy. But if I don't, I'm not going to use cable. Forget that Comcast stuff. That's Time Warner. So Verizon, that's my next alternative. So I'm going to go with Verizon. Okay. So these little choices that we make can actually affect the scales of the corporate greed versus uh, people dying. Okay. And that's the evil aspect of our realm today. Um, there is more people dying, digging up mines for diamonds, for battery parts, for stuff like that. So we can say, yeah, we care about the environment, man. We care a lot about the environment. Meanwhile, thousands of people have died and climbing just to give us what we consider planet sake. That's bullshit. Okay. And that goes into the I was just doing what I was told argument of ignorance. And that perpetual ignorance is what creates the injustice. And that and the scales tilt to one side or another. And right now our world is in a very perilous time, or very a time of great shit, uncertainty, because there is so much greed um, in place. Okay. So even my coffee is not, even the cream that's in the coffee or the sugar that's in the coffee, that stuff is processed for greed. And there is plenty in there. What the hell? Heavy hitters are in deck for sure. God. What's up, Mr. Jared? So, even my coffee, right? There is a portion of it that is straight out of greed. I mean, but what am I going to do? Not have my coffee? Oh, I'm so ignorant, and like I said, we're all fucking guilty of it. Every single one of us is guilty of it. It's okay. It's really okay. But the point is, I want you to see that the choices we make, right, affects all of us. Even well, who would call it the butterfly effect? Would that be Alex? I don't know, but that is real. Okay, and the more we say I don't know, or I can't, or blah 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 blah, that's just an excuse. Okay. So why are there so many heavy hitters here tonight? Who's orchestrating this heavy hit tonight? And why am I heavy hitters talking? Anyways, it's nice to see a lot of you here tonight. Is there any more questions on good, evil? I keep answering questions about consciousness, but consciousness is just an aspect of mind. And I have other videos on that we talk a lot about consciousness. And there's going to be more to come, and I'm going to repeat myself 1,000 times, but it's really not that hard because it's always the same old song. Okay. Um, I'm I am saying things over and over again. I feel like a broken record. Uh, it's a good song. Not a broken record. Oh boy. At least I don't have Billy texting me like every 5 seconds. I don't know who was ringing my phone though. That's funny. All right. So, can any of you give me a question or representation of good versus evil, or good and evil existing? Again, I know consciousness is a great topic, but at the same time, good and evil is a part of that existence. Okay. Now, when we're born, are we evil? Even the psychopaths? No. When we're born, are we good? No. We just are. We just exist. And when we hit that fourth year, our expression of previous is coming through, shining through, and our expression of previous is the light that has been pinpointed for 4 years, right? So as that expression of soul goes through past the fourth year mark, something wonderful happens, and all of a sudden it starts expanding into the human being. And by the time that fourth year turns to the seventh year, it is pretty much um, embedded. And by the 14th year, it is fully expanded. And by the 21st year, it is shining through. Okay. So, and that's the way it is. By the time you hit 24, uh, you actually are responsible. And that's your first cycle. So 24, 48, and so on, 62. I am going to be hitting my third, possibly bye bye, motherfuckers. That's the next step. Oh shit, my chair just clacked back. So nobody has a question, right? Why not? Hmm. Good, evil, good, evil, good, evil, good, evil. I feel like I should have like a little. Yeah, that's my right side. I should have a little horn here and a little halo here, and have like those little guys going meh, 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 in my ear. Might as well. Okay. Let's see. Now, Carol? Why you keep taking off messages, bro? Keep your message on. It's fine. All right. So, oh, on the good and evil question or debate or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. It's usually the second or third cycle. So 24 to 48 and 48 to 62, where it really gets entrenched. Okay. And that selfish greed to money is manifested. And that is who is running the world today. Um, it is unfortunate, but we have given our power to them. Okay. Let's see. I'm coming up to 45 minutes. So we'll do this for 15 more minutes, guys. No questions? Okay. And we did have a good talk last Wednesday, um, Ashley and Carol. And that talk was forgotten, but it was an excellent, excellent talk. All right. One of these days, I have to figure out how to edit these videos. Bro, what, bro? I hit, bro, what? Say something. Bro's not gonna cut it. I'll do Vulcan mind tricks on you. Uh, uh, yeah, I really don't have much more to say about this good versus evil. Just the point that we are giving ourselves to the choices of a few that influence us all. Um, and it's basically for money, it's basically for the dollar bill. Okay. And the choices we make every day is based on our ability to interact with each other. You good? Okay. All right. I thought you said previously that good versus evil doesn't exist. It doesn't. Well, good versus evil does not exist in the universe. It only exists on our realm. It is a man made construct, it is a man made reality that every single one of us is living under. Okay. I mean, Jesus was a real man. Was he good? All right. Do I have to say more? I mean, if he was never resurrected and he never came back from the dead, would this religion be as big as it is today? Right. So the fractal of duality and the fractal of the spectrum of duality, right, is what good versus evil is on our realm. Period. So it's constructed by us for us, and we live with it, but we have to observe it in order to make a difference, not only for ourselves, but for our fellow humans, for our fellow people. And that's the reality that we have is I was just being told, I was just doing what I was being told. No, you actually made that choice to harm another human being. And that choice should not be an option A, B, or C. It should be off the table. Period. When we give our power to harm other people to a drug company, for example, just I'm just gonna use a drug company, never mind a food company, then we are giving them permission to drug us to death. And they know that what they're doing, they know that what they have is actually harming people. They're not stupid. They have paid scientists that they invest a lot of time and money in this. The food industry is another story. Professions of science is another story. Professors is another story. All these things are combined to make us succumb to the will of the dollar. And if it's not the dollar, then it's the whatever country you're in, whatever your currency's in, that is your master. Master. So succumb to your master and say, give me my money. I get paid to work. Okay, yeah, fair. It's all good. Yet, if we did not have any money, how would the society be? Would there be a bartering system? Possible. Would there be some form of I worked hard today, so I'm gonna get fed? Possible. We don't know. We don't know because ever since there's been kings and queens, you have been required to work to eat, right? Even back in the time when the Bible was written, um, the people that actually wrote it uh, had money because it was very expensive to have a pen and something to write on, whether it was a leather, skin of leather or something. It cost a lot of money to write back in the day, 2,000 years ago. So if you didn't have money, where would you write it on? On materials that you could what steal? And who read it? Who had the education to read it? Illiteracy was very very rampant back then because not everybody could afford to go to school to learn how to read and write. So if you were reading and writing, you were pretty well off. And if you were writing stuff down, you were definitely well off. Think about that. So if you want something from somebody, then your intention is not for their benefit. If you don't want anything from anybody, then your intention is noble. And usually, usually the ones that are written about didn't want anything from anybody. They didn't want anything from anybody. Yet the people that wrote about them wanted something from somebody, and that was to listen to their word. Period. Listen to my word. It's very important. Listen to my word. It's very important. What do I want from you? By telling you to listen to my word is very important. Well, the people they wrote about didn't give a rat's ass. They were just giving back love, peace, kindness, humanity. They were just giving back what they understood to be all God, right? But the people who wrote about them and who created an opinion about them is the gospel. That is what the bottom line is, and that's how we see it. But the gospel does not help humanity today realize that it's being taken advantage of by greedy motherfuckers. That the dollar is their God, and God does not exist for anybody else or anything else. Okay? Die, see what happens, come back, and tell the fucking story. It's more than you think. All right? So I'm going to get heated. So I got to stop this broadcast because I want to keep it kid friendly. Oh, well, never mind. I want to keep it friendly and not really like show my fangs as far as greed goes. Alrighty. Last chance for questions, guys, because I'm about to bolt. I need smoke. Alrighty, I don't hear anybody typing away, so guess what I'm gonna do? All right. One day again, I will figure out how to edit these things and cut out all that nonsense away. And Billy, no, that wasn't a while ago. 2,000 years is nothing, right? Think we were in the 1990s and where we are today as far as computing goes. Now, as far as a cell phone goes, 1990 versus 2024. How many years was that? Night and day, bro. Night and day. And it's going to get faster and faster and faster as quantum computing goes online. Then they were able to comprehend what I'm talking about. Okay? So there is no questions. And I'm going to say peace to y'all. And I'll see you all next Monday at 8 o'clock. Thank you for watching.